Germany has confirmed that indeed they have 14,000 Nigerians ready to be deported back to Nigeria. Now, the story behind this, I mean, the one I've managed to gather, I'll tell you tonight. And if you are watching us from Germany, we would love it tonight, if the time permits, for you to call in and tell us, at least you are living there, that number of Nigerians can be in detention camps that Nigerians who are living in Germany will not know about it. Or maybe there is just never massive media attention on this. From my own findings, it has been a long time problem. In fact, the issue of deportation of Africans, European countries have been making deals with different African countries who are willing and ready to take back those who are identified as their citizens. So, Nigeria, is it true that Nigeria have 14,000 Nigerians about to be deported from Germany? Yes, it is true, and not completely true. From those who have information on this, few of them have managed to kind of sneak on and then ask you a few questions. They said from time immemorial that whenever Africans run foul of the law of the countries outside Africa, whenever they are caught to be deported, they usually claim to be Nigerians. But most of these kind of people, they have no identification on them, either during their arrest or throughout their trial, what have you. So the problem will now be if somebody from Ghana or people from other African countries claim to be from Nigeria. Is that a common thing? Yes, it is. And that is why most of these countries cannot just bundle you and take you to any country you claim if they didn't find any identification on you. So what they usually do is this. They would approach the country that you claim to come from. They will approach your embassy, ask them to identify you, and help them issue you a travel document. Now, that travel document not necessarily would be a passport. Do you get that? And that travel document is going to be the kind of an agreement on the part of your country that they are willing to accept you back. Do you understand? Yeah. So Germany has been facing a huge pushback from Nigeria since the Buhari's days. The recent push they made towards Nigeria to accept by, initially they said Germany then issued identification to these individuals who claim to be Nigerians seeking asylum or probably, facing deportation, kind of. So they were issued identification. Now, these identifications were issued by Germany, right? Believing that they are Nigerians, truly. But when it came to the point of, we want to deport some of them now, we are trying to deport social numbers, Nigeria will not issue travel documents. So between the two countries, in March, they sent a delegation to go and talk to Buhari. They were even offering that they would attach aid, okay, that if Nigeria was willing to take at least 5,000 of these people, right, that they were willing to add aids, like, okay, we'll give you maybe 10 million euro to support girl child education, or we'll give you 50 million euro to support, you know what I mean? Like, but just agree. So Nigeria, that is not willing to take them by issuing the travel document for them, did not cooperate with Germany. Their chancellor was in Nigeria about a week ago with very sizable delegation to meet with Tinubu. Now, when they met with him, from their own media report in Germany, they said when their chancellor met with Tinubu, Tinubu was making evasive remarks. He was not wholly agreeing to take these Nigerians. And the reason is because on the part of Nigeria, they don't believe 14,000 Nigerians are waiting to be deported from Germany. Now, how do you now differentiate them? Is for Nigeria to begin to interview these people. You know what I mean? Like, interview them. They will ask them questions that will make them know that, oh, you are Nigerian. And no, you are not. So that area of cooperation is what Germany is seeking. That will help them to prune down their planned deportation. And listen to me. Some people believe that, like I said, some believe they can't all they can't all be Nigerians. You get? And you know, others believe that whether they are Nigerians or not, if Germany have 14,000 Africans that they want to deport from their country, yeah, that may just be the beginning. Okay? Because I mean, Germany is in Europe, right? Europe is next to Africa. It has been facing the massive surge of immigrants crossing channels and crossing desert and the rest of that. And in that process, they are now kind of, Germany could be the start, and it could be something that will be the decade, especially now especially now that Nigeria, the supposed giant of Africa, is now faced with the bleak future in the hands of these rogues who have captured the country. So if they want to begin to empty their countries, Germany may actually be the start, and nobody is safe. Another clarion call by other people who feel like, listen. So they said that Tinubu is evasing it. And he said, if they can prove that they are Nigerians and they have done well, which means they have cooperated with German this or that, and they are like, ready to be deported, Nigeria will take them. But the truth of the matter is that Nigeria does not want to take any deported Nigerians. Here is this. If Germany will need to ship 14,000 people to Nigeria for violating immigration laws of their country, it will take them about 55 to 60 aircraft. And I'm talking about massive passenger carrier, you know what I mean? Aircraft. It's going to be a huge expenses on their part, and they are willing to. So for those of you who are in Nigeria, of course, somebody told me about those who somehow, no, I'll start with this. There are some of you who who escaped from Nigeria, okay? And you know why you left. You know what you saw. Some of you sold your properties in what you called a Japa. Of course, here you are. Some of you have managed to what? To bridge the gap of any limitation wherever you are. You are now comfortable. Some are not. But for you to have left Nigeria based on the economic woes because of the criminals who are in charge of the place. You fear for your future. You want a better one, and you left Nigeria. After leaving Nigeria, you started claiming to love Nigeria from abroad by defending the same criminals that prompted your Japa in the first place. I was so surprised that in this same UK, we have people that cannot go back to Nigeria, not because they don't want to, but simply because, number one, once they leave, they can never come back to this country. But yet, the same fear of going back to Nigeria that they fear so much is exactly this. The people who are the source of that fear are the same people they are defending, where they are currently hiding. Now, with Germany, we don't know the whole story of all the 14,000 people. Like I have said before, somebody told me something. You know what they said? They said there was this guy. There are many. There's this particular guy. Okay. When you are doing your charade election, APC, Egbekegbe, and they were flying their religious card, Muslim ticket, what do you call it, their tribal card, my Lagos, not your Lagos, what do you call it, Yoruba Ronu, and all of that stuff. Go back to your Biafra and all those things, right? When they were doing all of that, this guy was actively involved. But you know something? He was also planning his Japa from that country. So eventually, he Japad. So he's currently in the UK. So he ran away, knowing what was coming. And right now, he will be taking pictures, sending it on social media, and telling you he's probably planning to have a better life, showing that to those who are still trapped in that contraption, claiming to love Nigeria from abroad. And there are many like that. Sowing the seed of religious division, tribal division, and every division they can to ensure that these criminals are in charge of your Nigeria today. Meanwhile, while they were doing that, they were planning to Japa to leave Nigeria. Do you see that hypocrisy? Yeah, that is just on the side. But just so you know, we can wake up tomorrow here in the UK, where it has always been a source of political campaigns. I have lived here for nearly 12 years, right? So I can tell you, immigration, because there are other African countries, right? That Germany, and their chancellor, they have met. Those who have taken 200, 300, 150, or the smaller numbers. But now that of Nigeria, 14,000, shattered the whole room. We can wake up tomorrow in the UK, where the country with the massive immigration in the UK are the Asians. But guess those that are mostly the primary and easy targets, Africans. And when you say Africans, Nigerians. We can wake up tomorrow, all of our way, and give different kind of visas without any real plan. But you needed to Japa from a country you said was working, or you are planning to move yourself and your family to Canada, to America, to UK, and all over the world to Japa. But when people talk about the reason why you have to call out and ensure that the system that allows the criminals to be in charge of Nigeria, the best of Nigeria are outside Nigeria. The worst of Nigeria are those in charge of Nigeria. This is affecting everyone, including yourself, but you live in denial. We can wake up tomorrow and they will tell all of you, you no longer have any visa here. Yeah. It's so rainy now. There are so many Japas right now. In their hundreds of thousands and tens of millions as we speak. different countries are making a kill in Nigeria through Nigeria's economic woes. Do you get that? So if Germany, for some reason, decided that 14,000 Nigerians in their country violated their immigration law and all of that, well. There's another one who is also a very, what do you call it? They call them the Ronu Nazis, the fascists, the ones that, you know, if you are not for Kolu, you understand, you're either Omuali or you should what? Go back to Biafra. In that same one Nigeria, that one too was shouting there, and now he's being tracked. You know what happened? He also was applying to Japa, but his own Japa is visiting visa. He got to the country and he started calling people. Sorry, how can I get dependent visa? How can I get, you know what I mean? Now he didn't want to go back to that Nigeria. The same Nigeria that APC, Egbekegbe, has made great, and it's going to be great because we exposing the criminals, putting that and keeping that in your subconscious mind. They said now our wish is the reason why Nigeria is not working, not because of what those criminals are doing. So as you are planning to sell your properties, I advise you to sit down and think well. Sell your properties to Japa because majority of you are going to Japada, not because you want to, but because they don't want you. And it's going to get worse. So their papers are now saying Germany is currently at a dilemma, a crossroad. They don't know what to do because they cannot just bring in people into Nigeria and dump them. Tifnumbu and APC, they announced to the people and they said the German chancellor came to Nigeria to come and discuss power solution, to come and discuss extractive industry, how they are going to extract Nigeria natural resources, and Nigeria is going to make $780 billion annually from Germany. Really? Meanwhile, they only came to come and see if Kolu is going to play game. And they confirmed that today. So how that is probably going to end is yet to be seen. But you need to know. Germany is not giving us full disclosure. They are not giving full disclosure. And I bet since this is now getting kind of more attention, you are going to get more. But 14,000 Nigerians rounded up. They have been given ID card, though. Some of them may be watching my video right now from that Germany because they are not like they lock them up in a place in this country. Once they take your fingerprints and they give you ID, say asylum card, they will tell you to start, to come, to be signing every day. You'll be going there every day. There's going to be a center. You go there, you sign, okay, every week. In fact, they may even be giving you money. Yes, they will be giving you welfare. They will give you a house to stay. You have a card to collect money every week and every month to pay for anything you want. And they will tell you your case is still being determined. Some of these people, they have lawyers. They believe that their cases are still pending. But meanwhile, Germany has already rounded them up. One day you will just have to go and sign. You will not go back home. Yes, it happened to somebody I know here. And maybe I should tell you, before you do your Japa, look at the world politics. Look at the state of the world today before you decide to sell your properties, move your family to anywhere in the world. Think of where the world is going to be in the next 5 years. Where is Nigeria going to be in the next 5 years? Weigh the options, see. Ki Japa ma lo di Japada. Before your Japa turn to Japada. A very close friend back then. Back then, I didn't have any papers myself. Like I wasn't official resident of the UK at the time. I just came from Nigeria with my visiting visa. Then I met this guy. He's been kind of is a relative of a diplomat. He came to this country as a student with a diplomatic connection, and a diplomat working here from Poland to the UK. You get that? So he was like a diplomat, kind of a relative himself. Then their diplomat relative got sort of sacked. It was a political appointment, a job that came, a job from a political appointment, So he was on his own. Then what happened? He was, he was living illegally here. But something happened. It wasn't because they kind of stopped him or did any, or no, he didn't kind of commit any crime. He was drunk. Then he peed in the open. And the police saw him as drunk. And they were like, hey, you can't pee there. So they decided to kind of put him in a taxi. Because that peeing in public like that is just about £60. It's a fine. You get fined £50 or £60. But he was drunk. Then he became kind of unruly and sort of arguing and all that. He was drunk. So the police was then trying to help him to get a taxi. Tell us your address. Tell us your address. And he couldn't pronounce his address. That means he was dead drunk. So what did they do? They had to, for his own safety, they put him in their van. So putting him in their van, he considered that they were arresting him. So he went more violent and all of that. So they reported that as he was being violent, but they couldn't get his name or his address. So they put him in their cell. So it was when they put him in their cell, right? So before they put him in their cell, they got his wallet. And then that's when they got his name. Somehow, when my friend woke up the following morning, the immigration were the one who woke him up. And they just said, we have some questions for you. That was his journey to deportation camp. But he had a chance. Yeah, you could go to courts and all of that stuff and fight it. That is what their system does in this country or in this part of the world. They will allow you to fight it. But when it is political, while you are fighting it, they will just remove the rug under your foot. And that's it. So my friend was fighting his case. And before we know it, that was the moment I met him. So before we knew it, right, they gave him a card. He started trying to claim asylum and all of that stuff. They gave him a card. And myself, that was kind of like, hustling here and there then at the time. He was collecting money. And to us, that's it. Maybe God wanted you to be arrested and then open we just felt like that. We thought it was going to be like, one day he went there to sign. He had to go there every week to sign that he's still there, he's still in the country and all of that stuff. One day he went, and that's the end of it. That was the end of it. So as you are watching this video as well, right? The people we are talking about in Germany, they are like normal people who probably didn't commit any crime other than, as they said, violated their immigration status. Many of you who left Nigeria as students under Bokwari to escape Nigeria, and you found yourself in Germany, you have finished your education, and then transferring transferring to a resident or whatever. I don't know the rule. I'm just trying to imagine what could be the issue here. because 14,000 Nigerians can be criminals in Germany, and it won't be a worldwide thing right now. That okay, 14,000 is that's impossible. So to those of you who escaped from Nigeria, hiding somewhere right now, trying to regularize yourself, and even in that state, you are still supporting the criminals in Nigeria. Now look at it. You are going to get caught up. Nobody is going to escape this. That you have left Nigeria and Nigeria didn't leave you, you could get caught in all of this. Whether, I mean, including those who are even innocent. Or I'm talking to those of you who left Nigeria because of what you saw as the weapon fashioned against you, against your future. And then you escaped. Now you are in a place that is safer, where you can cool your head and plan your life. And you are still there, using the little you have to propagate the support for the criminals in Nigeria. You see, karma will catch up with you too. And it's just unfortunate that when the evil people are being punished, so we read, innocents can also share in it, unfortunately. And to those of you who are watching me from Germany, like I said, we would love to hear from you, because it is so huge and Nigeria is not interested.